The Mother-in-Law Episode 2. Ifeoma's phone rang for the umpteenth time and she again ignored it. She just wasn't ready to speak to her husband. She was still angry about what his mother had done the previous day. Her parents had gone to some charity event that morning, so she was alone at home with her parents' maid. Halima walked gently into the living room wearing a sunshade and a veil, which surprised Ifeoma because Halima wasn't one who fancied things like that, and she never covers her head even though she's a Muslim. If you have also caught Apollo or something, please do me a favor and keep those shades on, I beg. Ifeoma joked as her friend sat beside her. Apollo would have been better, oh, Halima said as she took off the sunshade and veil. Ifeoma gasped. Her friend's face was battered and bruised badly. She felt like she could feel her pain even though she was not the one who was battered. "What happened to your face, Halima?" she half screamed. "My husband happened, oh Oma. I am married to an animal," Halima said as she suddenly started to cry. Ifeoma was shocked. A man could actually do that to his own wife? What kind of devil lives in him? Why would he even raise his hand in the first place? What kind of man is that? Did you guys have a huge misunderstanding? Ifeoma asked as she touched Halima's swollen left eye gently. Halima winced in pain. "I am surprised too, Oma. All I did was ask him about the used wraps of condoms in his pocket, and then he just went savage like a wild animal. He started to hit me so hard and he didn't stop until he was satisfied that I was battered enough. As I am speaking, Oma, I sneaked out of that house and I am not going back in. I was thinking of where to go when you called me to explain your own marriage palava, so I thought I'd better come here. My parents would send me back to him if I should go to them. Whoever said there's an happily ever after is mad. It isn't even up to a year yet, and I'm fed up of it already." Halima ranted with anger and pain. "I'm tired too, Halima. When last have you heard from Bola?" Ifeoma asked. "Was it not last week Friday or so? When I called her Sef, she said she was on a boat cruise with her man and would call me back, but she didn't." Halima responded. "Bola and that her man friend. She doesn't seem to care about marriage. I wish I could be that carefree. Maybe I would be happy by now too instead of just depressed every time. I really wish I can actually poison that useless mother-in-law of mine, but I just don't have the mind to kill." Ifeoma lamented. "Don't tell me that you are already starting to think like Bolo. Just see her as one troublesome mother." "Mother? No mother would terrorize her daughter this much, Halima. Do you even understand the amount of emotional and verbal abuse she puts me through? I am getting fed up of the marriage already, and I even told my parents that I want a divorce." "You are kidding? No, please. Don't do something you'd regret all your life. Just because people seem to just opt for divorce these days doesn't mean you should too. Fikeo is a really nice man and you know it. He just needs some marriage counseling and he needs to grow up. That's all. And you guys love each other so much, please. Don't let that old woman ruin it," Halima pleaded. "Mama is not an old woman. She gave birth to her only son at an early age. That's why she has so much strength to terrorize me every day." Ifeoma snapped. "Just take things easy with her. Go back to your home and claim what's rightfully yours. Stand up to her and let her know her place. No woman can just come in between you guys. Aren't you even grateful that you're not in my shoes? What if Fikeo is also a woman beater? Wouldn't it be even worse?" Halima pestered, trying to knock some sense into Ifeoma, who seemed to finally heed. "I think you're right, dear. You're a lifesaver," Ifeoma said as she hugged her friend. "So what do we do about that husband of yours too? How about you give him just one more chance and see what happens?" Ifeoma asked. Ifeoma walked into the apartment and was shocked at the rearrangements that the house had undergone. The cushion direction was changed and their wedding portraits were off the walls. Angered, Ifeoma turned to storm out of the house, having in mind, "If I perish, I perish. But I'm definitely divorcing him. The disrespect." But Fikeo's voice stopped her. "Baby? Oma?" She did a U-turn to look at her husband, or maybe soon-to-be ex-husband as she thinks. She was heartbroken to see how disheveled and unkempt he looked. He had big eye bags and had one of their wedding portraits in his arms. Ifeoma definitely missed her husband so much and was feeling bad at how he looked lifeless, but then she remembered the stunt his mother pulled and how they turned her living room upside down, so her angry mood returned. "Yes? Are you happy now?" Ifeoma asked harshly. "Baby, I'm so sorry. I asked Mama and that woman to leave immediately I came home and saw them. I called you a million times, Oma. You refused to pick my calls. I asked your friends about your whereabouts and they just shunned me. I'm so sorry. Fikeo pleaded on his knees, already softened but wanting to put up more act. Ifioma boned her face wanting to hear him plead a little bit more. So suddenly you don't know my parents' address anymore? You were there? I swear. I would be lying if I said I didn't think of that, but then I thought you can't be there because knowing your father, he would have sent you back immediately, so I crossed it off. And I wanted to call them, but I didn't want them to know that we had issues. You said I shouldn't tell them about our misunderstandings. Already softened, Ifioma knelt in front of her husband, holding his face. She whispered, I missed you so much, baby. You know I really can't do without you. I missed you more. I almost went crazy. I love you, baby, and I apologize on behalf of my mom. Fikeo claimed Ifioma's lips with his as they kissed as long and deep as they could. Fikeo's hands were already roaming around under his wife's top and things were already getting pretty heated before Ifioma broke the contact. They looked at each other before they both burst into laughter. I see what you did there. She joked. Oh, come on. I have a boner already, baby, and you're as horny as I am, if not worse. Fikeo teased as he pouted. I'll allow you to do anything you want with me, but baby, you really need to talk to Mama. On a serious note, she's annoying and honestly, I've had it to my throat on her issues. I already considered divorce, baby. Fikeo gasped. Divorce? Do you want me to die? Of course not. But that's just to tell you how much your mom is making me overthink things and can even come in between us. Fikeo, you already know this. Your mom's hatred for me is something that can be quenched. She will do anything to bring me down and throw me out of this house, and that isn't even the painful part, baby. The most painful part is that fact that you're allowing it. I'm so sorry. That'll stop henceforth. I can't lose you. He apologized. Promise. Pinky promise. Can I do whatever I want now? Ifioma nodded as Fikeo scooped her up in his arms and carried her into their bedroom. Several weeks had passed after the major misunderstanding, which was caused by no one other than Mama. Mama suddenly reduced the way she visited Fikeo and his wife, and they hardly saw her like before. When they did visit her, or she did, she never even paid any attention to Ifioma. She ignored her totally as if expecting that to make her unhappy or something, but then Ifioma was just so thrilled about the new changes. To her, it was very better for Mama to ignore her than make her life a living hell. She was enjoying the new freedom and happiness until her husband announced a news that sounded like a death sentence to her one night. The heavy rain and storm that the news carried also happened in Mama's area. It was so bad and destructive. Many houses collapsed and roofs were removed by the storm. Fikeo started. Oh really? Only God can save us from this rainy season. Oh, it's too much. I hope no lives were lost. Ifioma replied, although she was still focused on her iPhone. No. But there were minor injuries. So the thing is that Mama's roof was also removed in that storm, and a part of the house collapsed too. Wow. What the? How did that happen? Is she okay though? She asked, sincerely worried. Yes, she is. Thankfully, she wasn't in the house at the moment when it happened. She was at her friend's place, then only for her to come back to meet all her properties destroyed by the rain. She was so sad when I went to see her this evening. Fikeo explained further. Oh my God. I can imagine how she feels. You should really get an apartment for her to stay for a while before you finish the reconstruction. Yes. That's the thing. She's going to stay with a friend for a couple of days, and I'm thinking of bringing her to this house to stay with us till we get hers back. Which house? Ifioma asked, now focusing all her attention on her husband. This house, baby. I ought to bring her this evening, but I just didn't because I wanted to talk to you about it first. You want to bring Mama into our house to live with us? The same Mama I know? Are you even listening to yourself? She is not even living with us and she's causing chaos among both of us. What's to say that when she now moves in, she won't even kill me? Ifioma raises her voice as she stood up. Calm down, baby. I told you she'll change and she did. Didn't you see the difference these few weeks? What difference? She ignores me and my existence. She doesn't allow me to touch her. doesn't respond to my greetings, and refuses to eat anything I cook. Not that I'm complaining or anything. I actually like it that way than her terrorizing me, but is that what you call change? Fikeo, your mother can't stay with us. She just can't. Ifeoma refuses. Aren't you being so insensitive and unnecessarily wicked right now? Am I supposed to just let my mom suffer? What do you think people will say? Her house is not in a good condition right now, and her only son couldn't take her in for a while. It's not even forever, Fikeo explained, trying to knock some sense into his wife, who isn't even seeing his point. It sounds like forever to me if you don't know. Like a very long forever. And she's not suffering. Stop putting it that way. All you have to do is just get her an apartment for a while. This isn't even a big deal. She can't stay in an apartment when she has her son nearby. She's not even feeling too well to stay alone. Oh, my dear. Can't you just see my point? Please. He pleaded when he saw that reasoning with her is not helping. It won't work, oh. It won't. Mama staying with us won't work. I don't care how people see it. Were they blind when she's terrorizing me? People choose to see what they want to see. Fed up with her adamant responses, Fikeo raises his voice at her. Shut up, Oma. Just shut it. My mother will come into this house and you will cohabit with her whether you like it or not. Put yourself in her shoes and stop being unreasonable. Shut up, Oma. Just shut it. My mother will come into this house and you will cohabit with her whether you like it or not. Put yourself in her shoes and stop being unreasonable. Fikeo was seated in the bar taking shots of vodka while his mind wandered away. He was honestly tired of the misunderstanding he had with his wife. She intentionally refused to cook for him before leaving for work this morning like she usually did. He can't seem to see why living with his mom for a while was such a big issue. Can't they just try to understand themselves? What's the matter with women? There should be a whole book on how to understand women, honestly. That was what filled his head as he filled his stomach with the alcohol. His mom called him this morning to ask when he would be coming to get her, saying that her friend had already started making it seem like she's a beggar. He tried his luck by asking her if he should get her an apartment to stay instead of staying with them, but it only resulted in another headache for him as Mama flared up saying, "Is it that your wife? She does not want me in my own son's house. I'm sure if she could kill me, she would have done so. She thinks I'm her rival." Fikeo had to hang up the call after telling her he'd get back to her. "Sup, man?" Viola, one of Fikeo's best buddies, slapped his back as he took a seat on one of the chairs beside him. Two other guys who are also Fikeo's friends followed suit and took their seats on the other empty chairs while exchanging pleasantries. "This one that you're the first person amongst us to be here. It never happens. Hope all is well with you, Colonel," another one of his buddies asked with humor. They all ordered for different brands of alcohol from the barman as they started their conversation. "See, I don't even know. Guys, I'm tired," Fikeo lamented. "Of what?" Viola asked. "Of misunderstandings between Oma and I." "You have just started, man. You have not seen anything. I thought she was the sugar in your tea before. Your heartthrob. Did she turn to a bitter leaf in your tea?" Aid, who's the only bachelor amongst them, said while the rest of the guys hissed. They don't take him serious when it comes to marriage issues because he does not respect women, neither does he believe in love or marriage. It's all bullshit to him, so he finds every means to discredit anything marriage or love. Aid, how many times do we have to tell you that whenever we are talking about marriage issues, do not contribute? You end up saying the shittiest rubbish ever. Colonel reprimanded. The truth is bitter, whether you guys will admit it or not. You're tired of your marriage, and I can understand. Imagine having to eat the same type of meal every day. Just imagine. I'll commit suicide, Aid said, laughing at his own joke. Who told you that I'm tired of Oma? The way you jump to conclusions like a frog, and I'll never be tired of Oma. In fact, she's still the sugar in my tea. I can't imagine life without her, and she's my forever. But these misunderstandings, I really wish I have a way to do away with it. It's really straining our relationship, Fikeo praises while Aid rolled his eyes and hissed. Don't worry, man. You'll understand one day. Fikeo patted him. Don't mind him. It's not even as if he doesn't understand. Oh, obvious he not the same guy that fell in love with Kioma that year, always doing everything for her. The girl turned him to big time MAGA. Because that one broke his heart now, he no let us hear word again. You better open up your heart for a soulmate. Viola chided. Me? Love Kioma? I was only acting for her to get Punani. Pif Shinobi only love Aid replied even though Kioma is a touchy subject for him. If you don't shut up there now, we will open up your matter today. You that when she got married to that old man then and left you, you considered suicide. If not because someone was there to stop you on time from taking the sniper, nah underground you for a day now. Don't worry. Today is not about you and Kioma. If not, we for table I'm here small. Today's for Fikeo so shut your mouth and let's hear him out Colonel said. You people and your arguments with Aiden. Maybe he forgot nah? Fikeo added laughing. His clique were always like that. Always bickering at each other and still there for each other. They have been friends since their first year in the university. This misunderstanding now is about Mama Oh. I told her that I want Mama to come and stay with us for a while before I finish her roofing oh. That's all and Oma flared up. She refused vehemently as if Mama is an hired killer Fikeo explained to his friends. This misunderstanding now is about Mama Oh. I told her that I want Mama to come and stay with us for a while before I finish her roofing oh. That's all and Oma flared up. She refused vehemently as if Mama is an hired killer Fikeo explained to his friends. Calm down Biola. Don't judge like that oh. Have you ever been opportune to be there with Mama and Fioma when they are arguing or something? I once witnessed it oh. And before God and man, Fikeo, your mom is so extra. It's like she has this nurtured hatred for the lady oh. If you see how she cursed and abused Fioma that day all because she gave her one meat, you'll think it's because she added poison to her food. It was when Fioma couldn't take the insult anymore that she replied her. Fikeo, your mom is annoying sometimes. I won't lie Colonel said. It still doesn't mean. Anan, she still deserves her respect. A mother will always be a mother. My own mother and my wife have been staying together for years now and they are cohabiting quite well aside some unusual misunderstandings. Fioma is not homely at all. I noticed that in her when you guys were dating in school then. She doesn't joke with us, always quiet. She won't even care to cook for us when we visit her. You know that I never liked her. I prefer Desua to Fioma anytime any day. Sua with that big S's of hers back then. She'll cook, wash and even do everything for us just because she liked you yet you didn't even reciprocate her love for you. Nah Fioma, the slim one you carry put for house Biola explained. You can't compare your own mother to Fikeo's mamo. They are different. You Saf know what I'm talking about nah. Fioma may also be stubborn in her way but well. And you should know better that marriage and love isn't about shape O'Connell replied. Don't mind him. Your own wife that has the big S's, big boobs now, hasn't it all fallen apart? Aid said as he received a slap on his head from Biola. Don't talk about my wife like that. Do you expect her to be well shaped after 2 beautiful kids? Biola stood up for his wife. No. I'm only saying you cared about curves so much and now that it's somehow, you're already following other girls with the S's, Aid accused. It's none of your business. That's just pleasure. Every married man does it Biola covered up. A bego. Which one is every married man does it? Am I not married? I would never be part of that Fikeo said. Sario. The faithful husband Aid mocked as the other guys laughed. Meanwhile, you just need to calm down and talk to your wife. See reasons with her and try to understand her point of view. Maybe you'll get to understand why she's so against it, Kunal advised. Which calm down. You will never understand women no matter how hard you try to. I saw a book on how to understand women one day and man, it was blank. Nobody knows it. The guys laughed. See, and my own is that you should bring your mom in. You're the husband in that house. You command and she listens. That's the role. It's your mother we are talking about for God's sake, Biola advised. In this 21st century, he commands and she listens. You better go back to the 80s, Kunal joked. While his friends were bickering at one another, Fikeo was torn between both advices. He then decided to heed to both. Talk again to Oma first and if she still proves stubborn, he'll do what Biola said. After all, I'm really the husband, he thought. Fioma walked into the eatery gracefully on her heels. She spotted Halima and Bola seated around one of the tables eating jollof rice and fried rice and then she walked towards them and sat down. Fioma, your face is scarce so. I almost thought you're no more living in Nigeria Sef, Bola said as soon as she sat down. Abi, you're the one who hardly stays in Nigeria again. Dubai every time. You're the one everyone is talking about right now. Oh, money de your hand nah. Make we help you spend them. Ifeoma saluted her friend jokingly. Oh, it's not my fault. Oh, that's where Ademi is enjoying his life now. Oh, trying to get away from his wife as much as possible. We might get married in Dubai, Sef Bulnal said with excitement. Get married to another woman's husband. I hope you know that he married his wife legally and can sue you people. Halima said, this one have come again. Oh, you're such a killjoy. Never happy for me for once. Blah blah blah. A bag. Leave me alone. Oh. Let everybody do what pleases them, Bola said while Ifeoma rolled her eyes at the both of them. When will you ladies ever stop fighting each other at every little thing? Abego. Let's talk about what has been troubling me, Ifeoma started. What else will be troubling you if not your husband and his mother? Bola said with sarcasm. I can't believe that I have to admit that you are right. See, I'm so tired of this woman. You know what the new development is right now. Fikale wants his mother to live with us, Ifeoma exclaimed. And you agreed to it? Any other normal mother-in-law would be fine. Oh, but that bag full of troubles Fikale calls his mom shouldn't be allowed. Oh. Cian, say goodbye to your marriage, Bola aggravated. Calm down, Bola. You're such a drama queen. She's tensed already, as you can see. Why are you trying to aggravate the issue for her? See, Jeroma, I think you should have a heart-to-heart discussion with your husband. Oh. Do not allow it, Halima also contributed. You guys think when he told me I just said, okay, why not? Bring her in. Of course not. I refused. I refused vehemently. For the past 2 days after he told me, we haven't even exchanged as little as hello in that house. But he's not listening. He thinks I'm just been dramatic and insensitive about the whole thing. You girls know how much of an high regard he places his mother compared to me. I explained even further, and that is such a bad thing, honestly. Halima buttressed. I thought you'll say it's a good thing. We're saying the same thing but in different ways, yet you think I'm wrong and you're right, Bola said to Halima and then faced Ifeoma squarely. Cian, what I'll tell you is that you should just take her since there's nothing you can do. When she moves in, poison her. Simple as ABC. Bola said nonchalantly and went back to drinking her smoothie. Is she a rat to just poison like that? Bola, you never cease to amaze me. Oma, don't even listen to this girl. Oh, when everything happens and it backfires now, the world will not help you to hear that you killed your mother-in-law just because she frustrates you. This girl giving you advice, Seth will disappear then. Even Fikeo will not hear such reason. He'll throw you in jail straight away. Halima said, Anan, is she daft? She'll do it in a way that she doesn't get caught. Nah who them catch dem go they ask questions, Bola shrugged. It's like you're talking from experience, Ifeoma guessed. Well, in my head, I've killed Ademi's wife 1,000,000 times. Now that I even heard that she's pregnant, it's even more annoying, Bola explained. If anyone should be killing anybody in their head, it should be that woman killing you, cause you're the one who won't leave her husband alone, yet she's overlooking whatever her husband does outside with you and you're still looking for how to collect her husband entirely. Bola, you won't succeed. I fear who no fear you, Ifeoma said. Leave her now. I just can't wait for the day your Ademi will disappoint you and tell you he can never leave his wife. That's when you'll know that you're just the other woman and will always be the other woman, Halima added. It's okay. You guys are not even supportive at all. If you're looking for friends who will support this nonsense you're into, you know where to find them. Or did those glamorous Tai and Kioma leave you? Those ones will keep hailing you. But we will always tell you the truth, so that when it all backfires, I'll be able to say that I told you so, Halima said again. Oh, Halima, hope your husband hasn't pulled the stunt of that time again? Ifeoma asked in a coded way so that Bola doesn't get what she was asking about. No, he hasn't, but I think it's just because he hasn't been coming home for some weeks now. When he's stable at home, then I'll know. Plus, I always try to avoid any sort of confrontation with him. I still found condoms in his pocket last week, but I didn't bother to say anything about it, Halima told Ifeoma. At least he's using condoms with his concubines. Some men are so dumb that they do it raw and then they'll now bring disease home for you. Bola contributed. Who called you? Do you know what we're talking about? Halima accused. See this one. what you don't want the father to hear, Anne. It's the father that'll still finish the matter for you. You think I'm daft? It's me that all these coded nonsense will work for. You found condoms in his pocket, confronted him, and he beat you up. Guy that looks very much like a woman beater before. If there was a job that says woman beater, he'd fit that job perfectly. He looks like he beats women for a living. Be coding nonsense there. You didn't want me to know because I'll say the truth, Bola said. I didn't want you to know because you'll mock me, Halima said. And have I mocked you? Sometimes you conclude shit about me just because of the way you act. Don't conclude about what I do for me, please. Man, you guys are as useless as the pea in Psycho. You didn't say anything tangible that can help me to stop Mama from living in my house. Just changing the whole topic up and down, Ifeoma joked. But deep down within her, she was scared at the fact that her mother-in-law will really move in with them, and there was nothing she could do to stop it. The day that Mama was to move in with her son and his wife came knocking on the door, Ifeoma was grunting and acting all angry with her husband the more the day grew nearer. Fikeo was taking his bath while Ifeoma was seated in the sitting room watching a Telemundo that she wasn't quite giving attention to. She kept murmuring to herself angrily. Her husband's phone rang loudly and she jumped up hastily to check who it was. She never thought it would be a mistress because she had never doubted her husband. She only wanted to see if it was Mama, and she was right. She picked up the phone from the table, mumbling under her breath. She hung up the call and deleted it from the call log. The phone rang again and she did the same thing. She continued to hang up the call over and over again as Mama kept calling. When she heard footsteps of her husband coming out of their room, she quickly dropped it and laid down on the couch. Oh, I left it here. Mama would have been calling me to come and pick her up at the park, Fikeo said as he picked his phone. He was shocked to see no missed calls from his mother. His mom wasn't that patient. Oh, Ma, did my phone ring? He decided to ask his wife. Ring? No, at all. It didn't even blink. Why are you asking? Ifeoma feigned innocence and talked to her husband lovingly. Fikeo was shocked because all she had been doing in the house was giving him grunts and nods. Mama is coming today, Na. Have you forgotten? He reminded. Oh, maybe she already changed her mind. You know how these old women think, Ifeoma replied. Definitely not my mother. Let me call her, Fikeo said as he attempted to dial Mama's number. Ifeoma stopped him before he could go further. No, don't call her, Na. Just wait till he calls herself, Na, she exclaimed. Fikeo gave his wife weird looks before surrendering to her charms, and then he went back into the room after dropping his phone. Ifeoma smiled secretly as she picked up the phone and followed her husband in. If she couldn't stop her from moving in, at least she should get some punishment while at it. She must find her way into this house by herself. Doesn't she come uninvited before? So because of some luggage now, she needs car to pick her up, Ifeoma thought. It was afternoon and Ifeoma was lying on her husband's chest, stroking his tiny chest hairs. Fikeo was enjoying all the attention his wife was gifting him all of a sudden today. He really missed her been like that, so he completely forgot about who was coming and who he had to pick. Mama barged into the house, her face contorted in anger as she startled the lovebirds who were lying down on the cushion. Fikeo was shocked while Ifeoma just had a smug smile on her lips. Mama, you're here, by yourself? Fikeo exclaimed as he rushed towards his mother. No, I'm here with Jesus, Mama replied sarcastically. She was fuming, judging by the way her eyes was glaring daggers and her hands on her waist standing akimbo. Ifeoma chose that moment to welcome her mother-in-law despite the fact that she was the reason for the whole scenario. Mama, welcome. Oh, how was your journey? Go and greet your ancestors in heaven, Mama responded angrily. Ifeoma retreated, smiling mischievously. But Mama, I told you to call me, Na. You should have called. Fikeo accused his mother. If I throw my slippers from here, it'll hit you right in the groin, and you know that I never miss. How else would I call you? I called over 100 times and you kept hanging up the call. Mama shouted at her son, Anan. Mama, don't exaggerate it, oh. You only called 15 times. Ifeoma said, forgetting that she was supposed to just keep her mouth shut. Fikeo turned to look at his wife, his face contorted in confusion. 15 times? What are you saying? You said she did not call. Fikeo snapped. Oh, so your wife is now your phone keeper? The switch that doesn't want me here in the first place, and you left me in the park to look for taxi and pack all these heavy loads by myself. Mama shouted at the mention of loads. Ifeoma's eyes surveyed the luggage that the taxi driver had helped Mama to drag inside. Her mouth hanged open. Is she planning to die here? She unconsciously whispered. Shut up, Ifeoma. Shut it! Fikeo snapped at his wife. He was beyond angry about the stunt she pulled, and the fact that she kept acting like she did nothing infuriates him the more. Sorry, oh. Mama, what will you eat, oh? Ifeoma continued, not minding her husband. Who will eat your food, so that you can poison me, Abby? Mama retorted. Baby, can you see that I've tried my best as a daughter-in-law? I don't want to hear that I'm stressing your mother, oh. And then, Mama, in case you're hungry, tell me, oh, because the kitchen key is with me and you can't cook for yourself without it. I rest my case, Ifeoma concluded as she went into her room. See your life. Is that a wife or a stupid girl? Next time when your mother says you shouldn't do something, you won't do it. Mama snapped at her son before she sat down on one of the sofas. Fikeo looked to and fro at the direction of the two women. He was tired already, and today was only the first day of cohabitation. He felt like there was more to come, and he dreaded it. Fikeo arrived home a bit late than usual, and he was so famished. He entered the house expecting greeting as usual from his wife and mother, but didn't hear any. He then started to hear their muffled arguments from the kitchen. Not wanting to face their trouble that evening, he started to tiptoe into the room until they both caught him. Baby, you're back? Ifeoma said at the same time that Mama said. Welcome, my son. Why are you walking on your toes like a thief? Ifeoma eyed him mischievously. What kind of wife calls her husband a thief? You are so disrespectful, Mama accused. Ifeoma simply ignored the woman's attempt to get her angry again, so she focused on her husband instead. Baby, go and take a shower, dear. Your food will soon be ready, Ifeoma simply said and went back into the kitchen. Fikeo rushed inside. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Mama was desperately and intentionally frustrating Ifeoma. My son is not going to eat that nonsense you're cooking this night. Can't you see that he's tired and needs solid food? How can a man go and work all day and come back to eat macaroni? Mama said, the way you keep saying he works all day like it's something that is unusual, one would think I'm a full housewife. I work all day too, and we split everything we pay for in this house. You don't see my mother coming here to frustrate your son, Ifeoma said calmly. Are you saying I'm frustrating? Don't worry. The vegetable that you concocted that makes my son like you so much will soon expire. Just know that he's going to eat my food and not yours, Mama retorted. Ifeoma ignored her. Fikeo sat patiently on the dining table expecting his wife to bring him his food. He was confused when he saw both Ifeoma and Mama walking hastily into the dining room carry dishes of food. Baby, I prepared spaghetti just the way you like to eat it, Ifeoma said as she started to dish the food for her husband. The bliss was short-lived as Mama opened her own dishes too. Fikeo was beyond confused this time that he just kept mute and continued to watch both women act whatever drama it was that they were acting. Okumi, my child. Why eat that broom when you can eat your favorite iba and agusi soup? Mama said, dishing the food too. Ifeoma was tired of her troubles. I'm confused in this house. Mama, are you a wife or a mother? And why do you keep acting like a rival with me? My husband will not eat iba this late at night. He won't. Who eats such heavy food when going to bed? Ifeoma snapped. What I know is that I won't let you starve my son. Why does he have to eat that stupid food? There's nothing you know how to do, nothing. Mama responded. Fikeo was confused as to what to do or whose food to eat, so he simply stood up and went inside. He was having headache already. You haven't seen anything. You not her to live with us, and here she is, Ifeoma thought. See your life. You have used your stupid food and nagging to send him off to sleep on an empty stomach. Ifeoma, my son will not die in your hands. Is it because of his property? Mama shouted. Ifeoma looked at her mother-in-law like she was stupid. Property? So he has property? Wonders shall never end. Mama, please. You're always out of point, Ifeoma replies and proceeded into the room. It's your whole family that will be out of point. Stupid girl. Very disrespectful. Mama shouted after Ifeoma, who had already entered into the room. In the room, Ifeoma climbed on her husband in a playful way. Fikeo simply looked away. Baby, I'm tired of this house already, and it's not even a month yet. Not even close. I'm sure you're fed up too. Was it beer like this when we were alone? Your mother comes with all sort of negative energy. I'm tired, Ifeoma whined, stroking her husband's beard. You keep indulging her too, Oma. Baby, can't you just do me a favor and ignore her sometimes? Fikeo pleaded. You of all persons know how much I do that. I do it every time unless I'm pushed to the wall to talk. She knows how to get on my nerves. Talk to her too, Ifeoma snapped and got off him. She was pissed that Fikeo still thought that most of it was her fault and that she has to be the bigger person yet again. In the middle of the night, Fikeo wakes into the kitchen to eat the food his wife prepared for him right after microwaving it. He thought about how he had suddenly become a rat that now sneaks around in the middle of the night as he puts each spoon into his mouth. It was already 2 weeks since Mama started to stay with her son and his wife, with her bags full of trouble, of course. Ifeoma was already tired of it all, but she had stopped paying any attention at all to her and kept giving her husband attitude. She stopped complaining as well and just went about her work, also making sure to mind her business in the house. It felt like she was the third wheel in the house and not her mother-in-law. She didn't even talk much to her husband anymore, neither do they play and joke around like they used to. Mama was straining the relationship and it still seemed normal to Fikeo. Ifeoma turned to the wall as her husband prepared to lay on the other side of the bed. Fikeo sighed. What was paining him wasn't the fact that she refused to talk to him, but the fact that she also refused to do the bed duties, and it was frustrating him already. Oma, please? I'm horny, Fikeo started. Ifeoma knew she can always win over her husband in that aspect. When he starts begging and pleading for sex, she knew that she has the upper hand and she was ready to use it to her satisfaction. Oma, I'm sorry, Fikeo begs, even though he really didn't know what he was sorry for, but then he'd do anything to have some of that sugar. What are you sorry for, oh? Ifeoma asked and turned to him. I don't know, he replied. If you don't know what you're sorry for, why say sorry? Get ready to sleep, Ifeoma snapped. Wait, nah. Okay. I'm sorry for the strain we're having and whatever I might have done to offend you. Oma, I'm sorry for what I'll do next, Seth. Please, na, Fikeo pleaded desperately. It's when you are horny that you remember to beg for everything you've done and haven't done. Ayo, I've been relegated to second wife, oh. There should be shifts. Do you want to starve your first wife? Ifeoma said sarcastically. Fikeo decided to play dumb. I have only one wife and that's you. My dearest Ifeoma, I can never think of taking another wife, not to talk of relegating you to second wife. Indeed, your mother Enko, Oma now. I'm sorry, please. Fikeo tried to close the issue as he started to kiss and caress his wife. Mama barged into the room suddenly and they almost jumped out of their bed. Ifeoma hissed. Fikeo rolled his eyes too. You want to make love and you didn't lock the door. It's like you've forgotten that we have someone in this house that doesn't understand the word privacy, Ifeoma murmured, glaring at her husband. Mama, what is it? Fikeo snapped. A canny. How dare you shout at me? Is it not you I am watching out for? Nothing is more important than what I came here to do. Get up. We need to pray right now. There are evil spirits in this house. They're in every nook and corner, Mama lamented. Ifeoma hissed loudly again and turned to her other side. Keep hissing. I can't blame you. You're the one who invited those evil spirits anyway. You're their queen? Marine water evil spirit, Mama cursed while Ifeoma continued to ignore her. Mama, it's enough. We don't have any evil spirit in our house. Pastor comes to sanctify it regularly, Fikeo convinced. All those ye pastors? Just give me the opportunity to invite Baba Anajileji, my herbalist. He'll point them out for you. Even your wife will dance out and show her real self, Mama pestered. Fikeo was getting even more irritated. Mama, you're getting on my last nerves. It's becoming too much. My wife is not a mermaid or whatever you think. Fikeo snapped. Mama burst into tears. So now I can't even guide my own son properly. Akani, you know what I went through to make you who you are today. Oh, so now You want to start shouting at me because of your wife? The woman that wasn't there when I was suffering to make you who you are today, and Akani. The woman that will leave you if one small thing happens to you now, and I'll still be the one that'll stay by you. Mama reminisced amidst tears. Ifeoma hissed again. Drama queen, she murmured. Mama, I'm sorry, but there's no evil spirit. I'm sorry for shouting at you, Fikeo apologized. Okomi, what an elder sees while sitting, a child would never see even while standing. The evil spirits in this house want evil for you, and I would not allow them. I didn't give birth to you and raise you for years only to allow some idiots turn you into something else for me. And your wife? She's so relented when it comes to praying matters. Look at her sleeping when I said there is fire on the roof. Until the fire burns her, she won't pray, Mama said. Anybody that wishes for fire to burn me, Holy Ghost fire will burn that person, Ifeoma said solemnly, although loud enough to be heard by her husband and his mother. Holy Ghost fire will not burn me. I carry Holy Ghost fire in me already. The banana is rotting. We keep saying it's ripening. Useless wife. Only God can help you, Mama concluded and went out of the room. Mama, that's too harsh. You want prayer? Oh yeah, Fikeo said as he followed his mom out of the room. Evil spirit is in the house. If there are any at all, it's she herself. Nothing else. Ifeoma murmured. Fikeo came back into the room after a long chain of prayers, and by then his wife was asleep. He decided to wake her up. Oma Oa, he said. Please, please, I don't feel like anymore. Go and meet your mother. She can do everything for you. Ifeoma snapped and went back to sleep. Fikeo sighed. What has he gotten himself into, he thought. Ifeoma walked towards the door and opened to welcome her husband. She simply paved way for him to pass instead of the usual hug and pecks. She didn't even deem it fit to collect his briefcase and jacket. Fikeo was really tired and has absolutely no time for arguments, so he simply ignored her. Ifeoma took her seat in front of the TV and continued to watch her favorite skinny girl in transit TV show. Baby, I'm ready to have dinner, Fikeo announced as he took his seat comfortably on one of the dining chairs. Oh, okay. Mama, Mama, she shouted on top of her lungs. Mama walked out seething. She was dressed in her usual Ankara Iro and Buba native attire. Am I with your destiny? What's with the shout? Mama questioned, glaring vivaciously at her daughter-in-law. Sorry, Ma. I'm sorry. I just wanted to announce to you that our husband is ready to eat, so you should get his food served, Ifeoma said innocently. Fikeo was confused. Mama was even more confused. Are you acting some kind of drama? Whose husband am I? Fikeo snapped, before Enko. She's definitely rehearsing a drama now. Probably the one they want to stage at your church for the Celebration of Praise program, Mama concluded. I'm not in the church drama group, so I don't know what you're talking about. I merely asked you to serve our husband. Or are you not a wife in this house too? Ifeoma asked, her tone laced with total sarcasm. Wonders shall never end. You are expecting my mother to cook for your husband? Ifeoma, is something wrong with you? Are you even listening to yourself right now? Fikeo snapped at his wife again. He was fuming. I don't understand what this whole fuss is about. Oh, so you expect me to come back from work, cook, and then when you get back home, you choose your mother's own and then I have to throw mine out? All my efforts and everything? Fikeo, tell your mother to cook for you as usual. You won't see me lift a finger today. Not anymore. I'm tired of this nonsense. She's a wife too. She can cook. No big deal. We already have 2 wives in this house, Ifeoma complained as she left for her room. Oh, Fikeo, they have gotten your wife, Mama exclaimed dramatically. Who? Fikeo questioned. They. Evil spirits. If not that evil spirit possessed her, how will any sane wife stand and say such things? Wonders shall never end in this house of yours, Fikeo, Mama said, clapping her hands. You have come with exaggeration of all matters. Which evil spirit now? Ifeoma. Oma. Fikeo left to call on his wife. To him, she wasn't acting normal. Meanwhile in the room. Are you serious? Where did you see him? Wow. For real? Don't give him my number, oh. That guy is troublesome. He doesn't care whether I'm married or not. Oma. Fikeo interrupted his wife. Stop shouting my name like that, Fikeo. Anan, what is it now? I'm on a call, Biko. Ifeoma replied her husband before she continued her conversation. It's nothing, Bola. Oh, thank you, dear. Thank you so much. That's how I saw it too. Oh, promotion, double salary increment. God is very wonderful. Fikeo stood patiently watching and listening to his wife chit-chats. Immediately she hanged up. He resumed. You got promoted at work and didn't think you should tell me? Fikeo accused, shocked that he isn't the first person to know of such important news. Yes. How will I tell you when it's Wahala? You started immediately you came back and I don't have time for small talks, Ifeoma countered. You started it now, baby. You know what? We are not even cooking. We should celebrate this. We are going to eat out. Get dressed. It's a Friday. I want us to go clubbing. It's been a while, Fikeo cajoled. For real. Ifeoma beamed. Yes. We'll eat out first and then have fun till late night. I've missed having some fun with you. I'll call my guys to meet us. It'll be more fun, Fikeo added. Ifeoma's countenance changed. Those guys. You know I don't like being around them like that. I want it to be us night. I want to see the movies and be naughty. I want to get tipsy and give you a lap dance. Ifeoma cooed, now cuddling Fikeo. Fikeo's ears perked up at that. Okay. Whatever you want. Ifeoma dressed up in her beautiful bodycon red dress and matched it with her white heels and white chic bag. She dusted her long Brazilian hair wig, oiled it, and it was soon back in its spotless and glistening way. She added a little makeup to her face and she was satisfied with what she saw in the floor-length mirror. The clubbing, Ifeoma. Okay. Now. That's my girl. Shush every spirit that whispers that you can't measure up. Numb every feeling that says you're not enough. Don't give room to anything that'll make you think you're nothing. You're above all challenges. You are a complete you. You're the better half of me. Smile, baby. I need to have this look on my lock screen. Fikeo gassed his wife up as he took photos of her. Ifeoma smiled heartily. One thing would never ever change about Fikeo, and that one thing would always let her endure his mother's ill behaviors towards her. That thing was Fikeo's caring, loving, and utmost amazing gestures. What they feel for each other is the realest. He's one of a kind and she knew it. Ah, where is a married woman going dressed in something this short? Mama exclaimed as soon as Ifeoma cat walked gracefully out of the room. Ifeoma simply ignored her and proceeded to take selfies of herself on her phone. Look at you. Your mates are busy giving birth. You're here going to parties, dressing up and taking pictures. Mama mocked, trying to get her to react. Not today, Satan. Ifeoma whispered to herself, shaking her head as she tried so hard to make sure that her mother-in-law didn't ruin her mood for that wonderful evening. Baby, I'll be waiting for you in the car. Be fast, Ifeoma simply called out to her husband and walked out of the house into the compound. Go girl. She gave herself a mental high five as soon as she got into the passenger seat. She connected her Bluetooth to the car's speaker as she began to sing along to Tamaya's I Can't Kill Myself. This life. I can't kill myself. I can't kill myself, oh yeah. I can't kill myself. Allow me to flex, oh.